welcome to the Margin Business Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. In today's episode, we got Holly Smith. Holly is not only a business owner, she's as well a LinkedIn phenomenon. She will bring out her book very soon, and she's working on a mastermind and a podcast as well. Her business, Biz Fitness, is the #1 private membership site for busy people. And she will tell us more about her busy life and her ambitions and how she can help entrepreneurs and busy people in their everyday life, be it in fitness or in their corporate life. Welcome, Holly. Thank you that you could make it today, Holly. It's a pleasure to have you here. And yeah, let's. What we want to know, we want to know more about you, more about your background, more about everything you have done in the past, where all this motivation, where all the energy is coming from. Maybe we find some stories, as the entrepreneurial family, or where this is all coming from. Please tell us first of all, where are you from, or where are you located at the moment? And then let's dive into your story.
Yeah, sure. No worries. So I am based in Brisbane, Australia. I've grown up in Brisbane my whole life. I'm a Brizzy girl. But yeah, I'm looking forward to traveling soon as well. So I basically grew up in a small country town. And I used to ride horses my whole life. So that was like my sport. I was competing, I was riding horses, I was selling them.
Competing.
And that was like, yeah, I was doing show jumping, I was doing gymkhanas, I was doing literally everything. I was more into the eventing side of things. So I was also, when I was younger, I was always like, I've been working since I was at least 11. So doing something, not because I felt like I had to, but because I wanted to. So I was like a swimming instructor, and like I was a horse riding instructor, and I was always like doing something like along those lines. And then, I used to like buy horses and sell them. And like, I was always had that little entrepreneurial bit, in me. So yeah.
Wow, but buying. Yes, I wanted to ask you. Buying and selling horses at a young age is obviously is a big responsibility. We deal with beings, with like big beings, like we need to.
They're animals. Yeah.
We need to understand them. We need to speak to them. We need to, it's not like, I don't know, like a liguan or something. It's like a real big being which need to be loved, which need to be cared for, and you don't want to give it in the wrong hands, although they give you when there is money in the game. It's like
it's really tough.
How did you manage that?
Yeah, well, obviously I had my mom because I was really young, like literally, like I've been writing my whole life, so like I was like pretty good, I guess, for my age, which means I learned a lot and I was obsessed with it and everything like that. So I guess it's really hard to explain. I guess thank goodness for my mum, because I wouldn't have a clue. Like obviously horses are expensive, so people don't realize that. It's a whole nother community. Like, how you've got the business, the entrepreneurial community, you've got the sporting community. Like it's just a whole nother community that if you never were a part of, you would have no clue how it works or any ideas. And it's just so interesting. So yeah, I guess because I don't really ride much anymore, looking at it from an outside perspective, it's interesting to see how the community works and how it like
you don't ride anymore.
Communities. I don't have any horses anymore. So basically part of the story was, so I got to the age of 16 and I was like, to be honest, really burnt out. I was doing it morning and night. Every weekend was a competition, and I was doing it for like literally since I could walk, I was been riding, right? And it became more like a job to me rather than a love. I still loved it, love my horses. And yeah, I think I just got a little bit burnt out. And then I was always into sport. Yeah, I was always into sport, like doing Oztag and touch and tennis and swimming, and I did every sport under the sun as a child. I was a teenager as well. And then 16, I kind of like stopped all my sport. Both my horses died. And yeah, it was a really sad year for me because
I can imagine.
I was attached. That was my purpose. I found my purpose in my horses, right? So I was like, as a 16-year-old girl, I was like so destroyed. I'm like, what do I do with my life now? Anyway, and I actually became like really and then we moved off acreage as well. So that was another big hit. So I wasn't even used to, now I sound spoiled, but I was not used to living in a normal suburban house where there was houses next to me. I was used to having land, I was be able to scream. I was able to like, have a pool in the backyard. Like I was used to living on land. And then after that transition, not having my purpose towards my horses, not doing sport anymore, because at that time I didn't have my license, which means I couldn't drive to the gym. I really want to join the gym, but it was so far away, the gym, because we're still in the country, but anyway, so I got really depressed, really like sad, hated life. I was at such a low point. And then that basically took me to like after school, and I got into the real estate industry. So it was either personal training or real estate. I still loved my fitness, but I was like, I'll give real estate a crack. So I went to the real estate industry. And I started with the admin role and worked my way up to sales. And then I worked so hard, like really long days. I was getting paid really badly as well.
It's percentage, right?
Yeah. So eventually, it did work up to a percentage. And then you're on like your flat rate or whatever. The thing is, I worked really hard. I was doing like 100 cold calls a day. I was walking up like 2-3 hours of like door knocking a day. Wow. Like I was running the whole office. I was that person who was like, Holly, how do I do this? How do I do this? So I was doing everything, and not because I had to, but because I wanted to learn as much as I could as well. And and then again, because I was getting paid so bad, I got another job, which was a personal training job. So I was waking up at like 4:45 in the morning, personal training, 9 to 5 job, personal training, gym, and then dinner, bed. And that was on repeat for such a long period of time that I literally got so burnt out that I actually couldn't even walk. I literally, my lower back just gave way, my knees gave way.
4 o'clock is hard, it's
but it's just like, just wasn't looking after myself. That's simply it. And then I was like, you know what, real estate's not really for me. And I was like, the thing is with real estate, people don't understand that you've got to be in the same location for a long period of time to actually create relationships. Like I want to travel. I can't stay in one spot like longer than 4 weeks. So not good for me. Anyway, but I still interested in property and all that. But I was like, you know what, I really still do have a passion for personal training and like, fitness and all that kind of jazz. So whilst I was working there, I actually like built my personal training business, my face-to-face one. So I left that and went straight into mobile personal training, where I was working with people like one-on-one, going to their houses, training them, that kind of thing. That was good for a period of time, but again, it still burnt me out. So like, you can only train so many people throughout the day.
Scale, that's where everyone is stopping at a service-based business. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah. So it's like, I can't do this anymore. Anyway, so I was really interested in online personal training, but I never really understood how it worked. So I remember looking it up, and I followed a few people on Instagram, and then I got some coaches eventually. And basically, and it was literally the start of COVID. So it worked out perfectly, like really well, to be honest. I spent a full year doing face-to-face and online personal training, built my business up. It was originally Holly Smith, or HSPT, like Holly Smith Personal Training. And then the year after that, it was basically Biz Fit was created, because I wanted to create a business that I could potentially, invest in and all that kind of jazz. And that's why I love Biz Fit. And the reason that, like, where it came from was I was a busy individual who got burnt out and didn't look after herself because I didn't have the right strategies in place. So now I created a program which allows people to do that, still lose weight, still tone up, still eat healthy, be productive, wake up, feel amazing, have work-life balance with the right strategies, right? And I don't do fad diets. I don't do, eat less and do more kind of thing. It's creating habits. That's all you have to do, is create habits so you're disciplined enough to stick it out, right? And that's basically how I created BizFit. And then from there, I'm now full-time online, and that transitioned into accountability, productivity, coaching. So helping business owners and entrepreneurs. So it's funny what a few years it's been.
It's really an amazing story. You know why? Because all the, for example, COVID, everything came like in a good time for you. And there's plenty of people, for example, especially when you're very young, you have so much energy, and most of the energy, the people, they put it into something wrong. but I don't realize at that time, you know. And then by the time when you're older, you actually burned out already from doing literally nothing, you know. So I think what is important to find your purpose within the years when you're like really young, like 16, 18, and channel this energy, because you have a lot of it, channel it somewhere where it makes sense. Like for you, for example, you know, you channeled everything, and, you know, I've watched you grow, and I've watched your LinkedIn profile. Really, I can just say, wow, you know, it's a whole structure behind it. Very, very disciplined work on this. I guess you have a team. I don't think that are you doing it all alone, or
I've got a small team, and I'm very grateful that I've been surrounded by the right things. You just got to surround yourself with the right people, get the right coaches, that's it. That's how the number one factor for me was creating relationships throughout the years that has now led me to where I am.
Because doing this without a team would be pretty hard, you know. What I'm always saying is our employees, for example, without our employees, we would not be there, you know. Okay, we have built it up in the first place, but we cannot double ourselves. So I cannot work 24 hours, because, as you know, online business, as yourself, online business goes 24 hours. It don't go to sleep. So while we sleep, it continues, you know. There's somebody else working, and when we wake up, somebody else goes to sleep. So so I think we are in an amazing time with amazing opportunities, and we need just to show and guide people to how they can spend their energy in a better way. So I think you did it already in the right way, and I hope with the videos that I put online, I can help to open a little bit the minds of people for e-commerce, for, you know, online training. I mean, let's say it this way. I've been training myself for a long time, like, I don't know, my whole life, you know. So, but it never got in my mind to just open up, you know, to go and online and create my own profile in order to, you know, do an online fitness class or a motivation or anything of that kind. When I can tell you why, because of structure. This is one of the only problems I see, because of structure. Now, I channeled my energy into a business where I found as well the structure, where others, obviously mentors, helped me to find that structure. But first, we need to understand it, you know. So I think that you've done really the amazing approach in order to find this, and your community will grow even more with time, because right now, as you know, the e-commerce, the whole internet, we don't go out anymore. I mean, look where you are. You're somewhere on the land side in Brisbane, right? In Brisbane you are, yeah?
Yeah, Brisbane.
In Australia, you know. I'm sitting here at the moment in Spain. Usually we're traveling. I'm not always in Spain. We're, you know, it's not our home base. Home is a good question, you know. We are most of the time traveling, but, you know, COVID put us down a little bit. So this is the warmest you can get here in Europe. So nice. It's just we're moving into an economy or into a world where we just a click away. And if we use this correctly, I mean, not using it sitting all day long and just, you know, doing some strange stuff on the telephone. No, like really like using what we got, because we have so much technology. There's no household anymore without a cell phone or without a computer or anything of that kind. So just use it right, and let's make a difference for people's lives and help them. And this is what you're doing already. So can you please explain a little bit more how you help people? Because a little bit more about your LinkedIn strategy, a little bit more how you got so far into LinkedIn. This would be very interesting to make everyone understand. Actually, we have a LinkedIn phenomenon sitting here, you know.
Yeah, totally. So originally I was running like Facebook ads, and then my account got permanently disabled. Yeah. So I got permanently disabled, which means I couldn't run any more ads through my account. And you know what you got to do through the process. It's a bit of a mission. So one of my actual coaches, he's like, oh, why don't you try LinkedIn, jump on LinkedIn? I had a few people say, oh, jump on LinkedIn, like it's awesome, it's goldmine. Anyway, so I jumped on, and he gave me like a specific strategy, and I'm still working with him today, and it's been quite a few years now. So yeah, he's been working it all out for so many years that he's kind of like cracked the nut. So anyway, yeah, so he gave me a bit of a strategy, and then I ended up just posting a video, just like something every single day, for not every single day, most days, for 365 days, so a whole year. So that's what I really believe that helped me, you know, create the audience I do now, or, you know, the relationships, and grow my connection base.
Sure.
So yeah, and then after that, it's just being consistent, to be honest, knowing
consistency.
Consistency is absolutely key. Like if you're only posting like once or twice a week, like bump it up to 5, because that's like, you know, people need to hear what you have to say. I think that's a really big thing. And what I love about LinkedIn compared to other platforms is that, like, I would feel comfortable putting something very controversial on LinkedIn, because we know that everyone on LinkedIn has an opinion, right? So many people comment. Let's be honest. But I love that, because I'm opinionated as well.
It's true.
I love having like debates or just simple conversations and discussions. Like I love that, right?
Yeah, they come very quickly, you know.
Oh, they do. One comment can turn into a very long conversation, but thank goodness I have a VA, because they can get quite long. But anyway, no, I love it. I love hearing other people's thoughts and everything like that. So yeah, to be honest, I've only been on LinkedIn since probably in July. It will probably be 2 years.
Been pretty fast.
Yeah, so I grew from 0 to 57 now. 57,000 in almost 2, or like a year and a half, basically.
It's amazing, definitely.
Yeah. It's crazy thinking about it. But I still to this day don't have any, like, I'm trying to think of the word. When I jumped on LinkedIn, I had no idea what it could do. And I had no idea what 100 likes meant to 1,000 likes, or this many views to this many views, or this many connections. Like I had no idea. And still to this day, like it's not that I don't have any idea, but for example, if I looked on someone on Instagram who had 100,000 followers, I'm like, oh, well, they're doing pretty well, right? But still like 50,000, 57,000 connections on LinkedIn is probably like 100 on Instagram, but I don't see it that way. I just see myself as still, you know, the original Holly Smith.
Sure, I understand.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't see 57 as good or bad or anything. It just is what it is. So it's really nice to be constantly reminded by people around me that, you know, you're doing well, Holly. Like 57 is actually really great.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely good to have a reach. It's definitely good to have an ability to change people's lives and to influence it in a good way, you know, because there is a lot of influencers out there which have a bad influence, you know. Maybe necessarily not influencers, but maybe music artists or anything of that kind. They have a bad influence on younger people. So I think what you're doing is definitely good and helps others. I have a few questions for you. The companies you're running at the moment, what are exactly their names? You said, remember in the beginning.
So Biz Fit, that's my fitness company. So
Biz Fit, yes.
It's classed with Biz Fitness, but I've created Biz Fit because it's for busy individuals. And the thing is, it can be very
like CEOs and stuff.
It could be broad as well, because it's not just keeping yourself fit, but it's also keeping your business fit by keeping yourself fit. So there's a whole like story behind it, right? Biz Fit. So yeah, that's my first one. That's like my fitness, and I have like a members portal, which basically is super affordable, and anyone can go in there. There's heaps of videos, testimonials, like there's heaps of like interviews like this, and then you've got your meal plans, your exercise programs, and your phone. You get everything you need in one place. So that's like something that we're scaling and growing this year. And then I also do my part of BizFit is the accountability, productivity coaching, and personalized health and fitness programs.
Okay.
So right now, the real reason really people come to me now is so they can basically get their lives together. They say, my life's a mess. I don't have habits. Like I don't have anything. So I help them create the high performance habits they need to be able to get to where they want to be in their life, in their business, in their relationships, whatever it is, right? So that's it. And I love that. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. It's like my favorite thing ever, coaching people. So that's one. And then I've got a book launching in the next, hopefully 4 weeks. This is the last
that's great.
Publishing. Thank you. Yeah. So it's in the last publishing phase, and it's called 30 Days to Happiness. And it's 30 days, 30 habits, happiness habits, right? That if you implement and create them, make them a habit and continue. The whole idea is to read like a daily devotion for 12 months. And it's pretty hardcore. Most people won't do that. So therefore, we're going to have a 90-day happiness program after that. And then hopefully that will be a mastermind. And that's my purpose. That's my vision. And I'm so excited for that. And then eventually it will be a podcast as well.
Oh, that's amazing. The mastermind as well. I'm looking forward to it, because I think, out of what you're doing, there are so many arms and so many different businesses which can come out. So you really created a base out of your passion.
Yeah.
And now it's like a tree which is growing out of there,
Oh,
so
100%.
Great, really great. Just a few more questions. For example, what the main purpose when somebody comes to you, let's say you're still very young, and sometimes people will underestimate you. I mean, for me personally, because I do a lot of business, speak with a lot of younger graduates, and I personally like graduates sometimes more with the fresh ideas, disciplined directly from school, from university, because their ideas are actually fresh. It's not like when you talk with somebody who's done the business for a long time and has his ways how to do it. I really like to hear that opinion. And sometimes it even makes more sense to get them in as somebody who has done it 100 times in the same way. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So my question actually here is, do you get sometimes the question, how can you help me for things that I already know?
Yeah. Well, the things, people think they know everything, and the people
Exactly.
don't actually understand what they don't know until they get information from someone, right? That they have not been coached by before, right? So look, I think the biggest thing is, when I personally look for a coach, or if you're currently looking for a coach or a mentor or somebody, look at their past experiences, right? So for example, I would not want a coach. I would not want a LinkedIn coach who hasn't built a really good audience, is not generating, hasn't got any good lead gen, who is saying, oh, I'm a really good LinkedIn coach and I help you generate 10 leads a day. If you're not actually doing it yourself, like, practice what you preach, and you've gone through it before. So that's the biggest thing. So it's really interesting you say that, because I think a lot of young entrepreneurs, especially if they're coaches or authors or, running Amazon, whatever it is, we kind of get that, what's that word when you feel like you're not living up to expectation, or you feel like you're not so good enough? I'm trying to think of it. It's not placebo. It's another word. Oh my gosh, it will come to me.
Sometimes, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, so yeah, sometimes we feel like we're actually, good, not as good as we actually think we are. And that's just actually a limiting belief, right? So I think a lot of, you will have people as a young entrepreneur come to you and say, like, what can you teach me? What can you know? But the thing is, don't bother coming to me if you don't watch my videos and you don't know who I am yet. You know what I mean? So if, like, most of my clients are older than me, let's be honest. But the thing is, let's just, for example, if I was doing really well, earning $1 million a year, had an awesome, successful business, had great habits, was super productive, and everything was super level in my life, and I was, let's just say, a 30-year-old, I'm not 30, by the way, but let's just say 30-year-old was in that position, and a 50-year-old with more, say, knowledge or life knowledge, but still not earning that amount, still hasn't got good habits, still in the same train of thought, who would you want to hire? So I would hire the 30-year-old, because they've got fresher, new habits, and they can help me get to where you got to find people who inspire to be like, and go, I want to be like them. I want those habits. I want to be disciplined like that. So yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. Age doesn't mean anything, but the experiences you've been through and your knowledge and wisdom behind that, and the action that's taken, I think that's what I personally would look for in somebody rather than their resume.
Definitely. I can completely agree with that, especially nowadays. We get bombarded with so much information. We can get so much information. A 12-year-old can, if a 12-year-old gets to the internet and get the right information, he can have so much different opinion and so much input, literally, because the brain is fresh. The brain can just intake. Imagine you do that for 8 years. He can be a professional without even going to university or something. It's amazing what we can do nowadays. So that's why I'm saying as well, never underestimate somebody who is younger, and really, I'm not even saying give them a chance. I'm saying let them talk, because this is serious. Anyone with any age right now is really serious. We're not anymore like 200 years ago or something. Right now it's like the brain, literally, from somebody who is 10 years old. Okay, they don't have the same experience, but if you ask them a question, for example, they will reply to you with a correct answer. I mean, if you don't, we don't go anywhere deep. Like, I'm just saying, like, a live question, he would answer to you very logically. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, we need to begin to listen to each other a lot better.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, and yeah, here we come as well to wrap this up, because I think your time is limited and you have a very busy schedule. And I have one more question for you. What is your message to any entrepreneur out there, or to anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur and want to pursue their dreams and don't know really how to start yet?
Really find out what you love to do. Like, that is, a lot of people, like, as an entrepreneur, you'll start a business and then it might not go well, and then you go to do something else, and you keep jumping to different opportunities, different business ventures. But sit down really and figure out what you love to do. Like, if you there's a difference between, obviously, doing something and doing it for the money and so you can pursue your passion. That's a little bit different. But I know a lot of people who are in the e-commerce space, and they're not passionate about it, but they're passionate about the money, right?
Exactly.
They can support their dream, even if that's traveling, so they can be an author. And that's exactly right. So which is really rewarding, right? But I'd really sit back and figure out what it is you want to do and what do you have to do to actually get there, right? But the biggest mistake us entrepreneurs do make is that we kind of get into something and then we stop. So the biggest part of success, and the only part really that causes people to fail, I don't really believe in failure, it's just a stepping stone, right, into a new season, but is to, when you're at your lowest point or you feel like giving up, is to just keep pushing. And that's something I have to constantly remind myself as well. Like, when I'm at my low points, like, you always will have high and low points, but accepting the low points and know when you're at your low point, it's time to get up and shake it off and push even harder, if that makes sense. So that's what, that motivates me. I'm thinking, all right, if I stay down here and sulk about it and it's not working, blah blah blah, it's not going to do anything and no one any good, right? So you just got to push. What can I do? Is it just harder, go harder. That's all I can say. Find your purpose and go for it. Get your desire.
Yeah, and keep going. It's, as you have said, keep going. It's definitely great. So yeah, thank you so much for your time, Holly, and for this great conversation. I'm quite sure we will hear a lot more from you, and I'm happy that I caught you in a quite early stage, I would say, because I can see that that is going to be to the top, and I will follow this and watch it, and I hope we speak at some point again. And I wish you best 100%. Of luck with your podcast and with the mastermind and everything that you have planned. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.